Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to skip the tanker tips on Friday. We're just going to go and do another highlight reel because, well, I had a great game and we've had trouble getting the tanker tips recorded. So what you're looking at is the wonderful Soviet IS tank. This is one of the best Tier 7 heavies. You'll see I've got my little mark of excellence. I'm working on the second one. And games like the one I just had are definitely going to help me get there. For those that don't know, marks of excellence show how well you're doing in a tank. In this case, I've got 1, which means that I am doing better than 65% of people in my last 100 games in that tank. I'm actually doing better than 71%. At 85, I'll pick up a second mark. That's probably going to be a while. I'm still a bit of a tomato. This is a really good tank, not as tough as the KV3 though. Anything hitting in this kind of a T shape is going to go through. The cheeks are pretty beefy and will generate a lot of bounces just because of the angling and the rounding, but it's not a heavily armored tank. 120 at the front, 90 at the side, 60 at the rear, 100 on the front of the turret, but that mantlet is beefy. And this is just a murder hole. They'll blow your tank apart shooting at your Koopa. As we discussed earlier with the KV3, this tank sits in Tier 7. This is Tier 7. That's Tier 8. You'll see I'm ready to buy these. I just need a lot of credits. The IS leads the IS-3, IS-8, and IS-7. This is the more popular Soviet heavy line. This is a much more nimble tank than the KV. I've got everything unlocked. I haven't put the top radio in just because I'm lazy. 122 millimeter gun, 175 average penetration, 390 damage, bad dispersion, bad aiming. But it gets in there. The engine generates 700 horsepower, which goes a lot further in this tank than it does in the KV because this tank is a lot lighter. You'll see this thing can actually do things like climb hills. The turret is, it is what it is. You've got good agility. You can turn very well. 28-degree traverse on the turret, 35-degree traverse on the actual hull, which means you can get this thing around in a couple of seconds, which occasionally comes in really handy. You'll see my cruise over 100%. The skills are kind of all over the goddamn place. But we will get there. All right, let's head to the battlefield. All right, folks, welcome to Erlenberg. As you can see, this is a nice winter map. For those not familiar, there are 3 zones in this map. The western area is one. You'll see a lot of fighting here, and that's where the freight train's going. In the river area, you'll see there are a lot of buildings, which means you can kind of sneak up, but if you get seen, there can be a gun line up here that can tear you apart. And then on the far side, you can't really see it that well, but this ridge has a lot of opportunities. It's a pretty good place for mediums and tanks with good gun depression, but not so great for me. Let's see, there's an M6, an M4A3E2. I'm top tier. There's a good mix. A lot of Tier 7s, a lot of Tier 6s. Our team does have a big advantage in heavy tanks, a lot of extra hit points. So I'm moving up really aggressively early. This is something I should probably do less of, but I'm feeling confident. There's a lot of metal behind me, and I haven't looked back yet to realize my team is just clustering at the back like a bunch of Muppets. I'm moving up. I see the Tiger on the other side of this wall. I see the tree fall. That indicates there's people tooling around there, which isn't a surprise. This hill, tank destroyers live on this hill, and there's no artillery to keep them from doing it. The Tiger moves up, and I'm going to say hello to the Su-152. I hit him really hard. I took a hit in return, but it wasn't awful. It was about a quarter of my hit points. And I need to remove some of these guns. Now they have... Pause here. I moved up so where anyone here, and anyone here can shoot at me. But they're clustering back. The Muppet crew back here is giving me enough Overwatch. If they want to generate fire against me, like we're generating against these guys. You can see there's shots coming at this guy. This guy's taking hits. These guys back here are taking hits. They need people in this area. And they don't have it. They don't have anyone to keep me from doing what I'm doing right now, which is planting shots in the back of their top tier heavies. Fall back and reload. Now this gun is devastating if you can keep it firing. And right now I'm going to do everything I can to keep it firing. Pump a shot into the E25. If you can kill an E25, kill an E25. It's got a very fast firing 105mm. It's a fast tank. If you can shoot it, shoot it. Pump another shot into the Tiger. Not a great damage roll, but he's a one-shot. You'll see my team is calling for me to fall back. What is there to make me fall back? They are not capable of resisting at this point. Kind of looking around, looking for a good shot. You don't want to miss with this gun. It's an expensive gun to miss with, both in time and credits. And of course I can kill a tiger. Killing tigers is fun. And they're telling me to fall back. I've got a kill, I've got 1600 damage. Why the hell would I fall back? Shots are landing on the hill. They don't have anything up here. They didn't hold the hill very well. But we have to move aggressively. If we're dominating like this on this flank, we're not doing it on the other flank. And you can see they've been pushed clear back up to the D line over here. Tear apart the Cromwell, who was just not where he needed to be. Now this guy's got a really high rate of fire. I'm just going to shove him against the barrier. Kill him. And now all they've got is a Sherman Jumbo. Over here they've got a lot more. We need to get over and help. Finally, the Muppet Brigade is moving up. I don't really blame the AMX for hanging back, but the Panther, or the Ag Panther, could have helped a little more. The KV-3 absolutely should have been mixing it up. The Sherman Jumbo absolutely should have been mixing it up. They've got great armor. And the KV-1, I mean, look, your bottom tier, support your top tier guys. So now I'm rolling for the bridge, and we're going to speed this up. And now our east flank, the zero line, is just getting torn up. I take a hit from a Nashorn. Boom, he's done. Move on. Okay, keep going. Keep going. I've been spotted. What has spotted me? Oh, SU-100. Now he makes a big mistake. You're going to see my shot. Boom, hits him. And now he's taking hits. He could have stayed and finished me off, but he moves. And now his aiming circle is huge, and he's not going to, even if he reloaded, he wouldn't have hit me. He could have finished me off right there. He missed the chance, and I got to farm a little bit more damage. Now, the battle's almost over. We have a couple of the Muppets are capturing, the Ag Panther and the AMX-45. Not surprisingly, they're in a platoon, and not surprisingly, they're not really very good players. One of them has a WN8 a little lower than mine, one of them has a WN8 much lower, and that's a player rating you use to express how effective people are. I saw that tree fall. You'll see how I'm going to ping the map and say, hey, this tree's moving. And I'm telling the team, hey, let's finish them. Let's get rid of these guys. You know, there's a lot more. I just got 358, points towards experience. And when we kill this guy, everyone on the team is going to get experience. And I'm definitely going to kill this guy. He's done. There's 2 enemy tanks we could be killing. This guy would already be dead if these guys moved up. But they didn't. Firefly finishes me off. He takes a hit. Base is captured. Game over. For me, this was a really good game. It was Ace Tanker in my IS, which I have never gotten before. I got a bunch of other... I would have had Steel Wall, except for the Muppet Brigade not doing their job. Ton of damage done. Almost 4,000 damage. The game went really well. We won. It was a big win. But when you capture like that, when you take... we had a 3-tank advantage. We had them 2.5 to 1. And they didn't have any heavies left. We had 3 heavies. Finish it off. Get that extra experience. Get that, support your team. Make sure you don't lose any more tanks. If you look at what's being pinged, we've seen a Hellcat poking around here, and he is somewhere in there. Now I'm looking to get in that gully anyway, so I can get under cover from there, maybe pop some shots up this way. And then I see the Hellcat. We're at a quarter speed. This is a 68-ton Soviet heavy tank moving at 24 kilometers. That is an 18-ton roller skate with a cannon on it. And that's how you deal with it. Yeah, that's a Koopa stomp right there. That's pick up the shell, launch it over at the next guy. That Koopa's toast. Didn't even fire a shot. How's that for a fun quickie?